What You Did Last Summer.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new 4K release from Sony Pictures, and that is I Know What You Did Last Summer. But before we do that, if you guys are into 4K reviews, movie reviews, some tech and some game reviews along the way, then consider subscribing because we do all that here. So Tuesday, September 27th, Sony put out I Know What You Did Last Summer for the first time on 4K. So this is a catalog title, it's not a new movie. This was originally released in October of 1997 with a budget of $17 million and a box office of $125 million. So this is basically, a lot of people say this is a Scream clone, or they were going after the success of Scream. You can see a little tiny bit of a similarity, but not so much. I don't really compare the two like that. The biggest similarity between the two is they were both written by Kevin Williamson. And, I know him from seeing his name on all the Scream movies. He worked with a lot of Wes Craven movies. And he also wrote this. So, he adapted the screenplay at least, because this was a book first. So with a runtime of 101 minutes, this movie moves at a pretty decent pace. I wouldn't say fastest moving movie of all time, but it's not bad. I think it works pretty well. There's some scenes that get a little slow, but if you've seen this before, you know what we're talking about. So a quick synopsis. These four teenagers, they're graduating high school. It's basically their last hurrah. They're out on the town drinking, and they go down to the beach to hang out and party. And they drive back, and actually the drunk kid's not even driving. He's hanging out the sunroof, but it's his car, so he's doing what he wants. And so he distracted the driver, and they ended up hitting a fisherman that was crossing the road. They basically try to cover it up because they're not too familiar with the law. I guess they didn't realize. It was an accident. It was clearly an accident. Could they get in trouble for what they were doing? Probably. But, we wouldn't have a movie if they didn't do what they did. So they hid the body, they threw it in the water, and 1 year later, it comes back to haunt them. So they're being chased by this fisherman with a hook for a hand, and he's claiming to know what they did last summer, as the title of the movie suggests. And it's basically just a 90s slasher from there. It's a good time, it's definitely worth a watch. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably seen it, and you just want to know about the 4K. So we'll jump into that now. So believe it or not, this is the 25th anniversary of this movie, and man, that makes me feel old, because I feel like I wasn't that young when this came out. Sony usually has a pretty good reputation for putting out great 4K discs, and that's no exception here. If you compare that to the original Blu-ray from Mill Creek, it's quite the upgrade. So I did have the regular Blu-ray from Mill Creek, and I've watched this a few times, and the second I put this in, immediately you see a difference. So this does have Dolby Vision. I want to get to that right off the bat because, in my opinion, Dolby Vision is the superior HDR. It did wonders to this film. Sony did a great restoration. They did a great job with the HDR and the Dolby Vision. It looked fantastic. The skin tones looked amazing. The dark scenes, because there was a lot of dark scenes in this movie, it looked great. I couldn't find anything to complain about, I compared a lot of scenes to the Blu-ray, and this is just beats it in every category. Visually, this is stunning compared to that Blu-ray. There was some scenes in the Blu-ray where they're just overly bright. There wasn't too many issues with the Blu-ray, but they fixed it all here, and they just made everything look better. The code of Dolby Vision over everything just really was the icing on the cake. Dolby Vision really does wonders, and it did a great job on this movie. So let's talk audio. So this does have a Dolby Atmos track, so that is worlds better than what the Blu-ray had. The Blu-ray just had a basic 5.1, and this has Dolby Atmos, True HD 7.1, and it sounded great. It's not a huge action movie where shit's blowing up and bullets are flying, but it sounded good. Dolby Atmos usually lends itself pretty well to most soundtracks, and they did a great job with the new sound mix on this. The Dolby Atmos sounded great. The Dolby Vision looked incredible. I think they knocked it out of the park with this. I think Sony did a fantastic job, as they usually do. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of too many Sony discs that aren't good. They have a pretty good reputation, and it's going to continue with this disc. I want to get to my favorite part about this. So this is the traditional movie poster. This is the original Blu-ray. This is what it looked like. So now, when you pull up the slipcover, it actually reveals the original poster art. So I thought that was pretty cool because generally when you get a slipcover, it's the same artwork. It's just the slipcover is just nice to have. Really like that. I appreciate that. I wish more companies would do that, and it would really make slipcovers even more worth it. I mean, again, I'm a sucker for a slipcover. I really like them. This is a 10 out of 10 slipcover for me. I really enjoy what they did with this. So when you pop it open, you have your 4K disc and your Blu-ray disc. So you do have the movie on Blu-ray and 4K. So I believe the Blu-ray is still the scan from 2008, where the 4K is from 2022. So don't expect a new scan on the Blu-ray. As far as special features go, on the 4K disc, you have deleted scenes. You have My Own Summer, an interview with director Jim Gillespie. On the Blu-ray disc, you have the filmmaker's commentary, director's short film Joyride with optional commentary, Now I Know What You Did Last Summer featurette, a music video Hush performed by Kula Shaker, and the theatrical trailer. So there's special features on both discs. So as far as this release goes, overall I would give this probably an 8.5, maybe a 9 out of 10, because it's a fun movie. You know, it's a classic 90s summer slasher. It's a great 4th of July summer slasher. I think Sony knocked it out of the park with this one. It's a fantastic disc. It looks incredible. It sounds great. The Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, you can't get better than that at this point. And I'm really digging this 25th anniversary slipcover, and it's just overall a huge upgrade over the original Blu-ray. So if you already have this Blu-ray, and I can't imagine you paid more than $10 for this Blu-ray if you even have it, because it's always been cheap. It's Mill Creek. They're usually pretty cheap. It's been around forever, since '08. And this is only $20, so if you're a fan of the movie, I can highly recommend picking this one up. It's a huge upgrade. Man, that slipcover is awesome. I really like that. So the thing with slipcovers is if you don't jump on this stuff right away, sometimes the slipcovers disappear. They get damaged in the store from sitting around or shipping. So if you want the slipcover, I would suggest buying sooner than later. That's just me. If you don't care about the slipcover, you want to wait for Black Friday, I can almost guarantee this will be on sale on Black Friday, and you might even get lucky and get a slipcover. But that's going to about do it for me here tonight. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider giving us a like, because that's the best way to help us out. And until next time, guys, have a good day.